All right, so if you don't know, one of my favorite things of all time is Dilbert. This is, if you don't know what Dilbert is a newsstrip paper comic strip that was so popular. It turned it into a TV show and things like that. It's got lots of merchandise, things like that. Very popular comic strip, right? If you don't know the show or the comic, you know these character designs because they're just freaking everywhere. And this is a political video, so some of y'all might be mad by the end of this video, but the people who will be mad at the shit I'm going to say are not very intelligent people. And I hate to say that because like, let's get into this crap. So let's get into it. The creator of Dilbert went on a rant recently, having his comic strip removed from newspaper publications, and Elon Musk was in defense of this and crap like that. And this is the reality of this. This dude, Scott Adams, he said, and I quote, "The best thing white people could do is stay the hell away from black people." And he said other things too, but that was the worst of what he said that's been being thrown around the most, because it's just really messed up. I think it's kind of great though what he said. Not great in the sense like that what he said was great, but the great that he's one of those racists that finally just came out and said, "I'm a full-on racist." You know, like he didn't try to sugarcoat the fact that he's a racist. Basically, he's like, "Yeah, I don't like black people. I stay away from them." Like, great, man. Now we know you're a racist. We don't need to support you no more. Here's the thing. I'm still going to keep this DVD. I'm still going to love the show. I'm still going to love the comic strip. I have a Funko Pop back in that cabinet over there of Dilbert, right? Still one of my favorite things. But I just want to make this video because, like, it is one of my favorite things. And I want to talk about, like, a couple things that have been really bothering me when it comes to crap like this. First is, like, the cancel culture nonsense of, like, someone says something horrible and then people go, "Oh, it's cancel culture. They're getting rid of that person." It's not cancel culture, because cancel culture is like, here's the thing. If you say something horrible, like, "I don't like black people, I think they're so bad you should stay away from them," then it's time that you face consequences for that. No one's going out and putting you on a cross and killing you, right? You know what I mean? And also, like, I find it funny that the people who cry, "This is cancel culture," will literally, are the same people that complain everything is woke, everything is terrible, let's get rid of it. They boycott movies with gay people. They've literally banned books in the state of Florida that are against their beliefs. Most of these people are religious, which, by the way, religion has thousands and thousands of years of censoring art, media, music, whatever you can think of, just because they're very hateful people. I'm not saying if you're religious, you're just naturally a hateful person. I'm saying there is a history of that, though. And these are the people who will call shit like this cancel culture. A guy coming out and saying he doesn't like black people and thinks that black people are bad. You know? And that's what they call cancel culture. And it just shows, like, what's wrong with that. It's really funny if you saw that Eminem stunt where they showed that Maya Rudolph was forcing everybody to eat her version of M&Ms. That's what they want. A lot of these people want a world where it's exactly what they think and feel represented on the screen. That's what they're demanding. No gay people, no black people, very few roles of women unless they're absolutely love interests or subservient to men. That's what they want. No trans people, none of that. They want all this crap to go away so it could be a white-dominated world. If you really break down, that's what they want. Or a world dominated by what they think and feel. And yet, they want to call shit like this cancel culture. Get out of here with that nonsense. Because, yeah, cancel culture is a thing. Both sides do it. The left cancels a lot of shit. The right cancels a lot of shit. But the one who's more dangerous about it is the right. Because when the left, here's the thing, when the left cancels something, they go, hey, that is hurtful, that is offensive. And maybe they have a bad way of going about it. Maybe they don't go about it the best. And you can be critical of that. I'm critical of that. But there's a difference between like, hey, this might hurt someone who is of a certain race, sexuality, whatever. And that's very different from, you know what? I don't like gay people. Get that shit out of here. Like, it's all different. You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm at with this crap. And the other part of it I want to talk about is like what I call Trump derangement syndrome. What a lot of people do as well. It's not. It's what it is like Republicans. You know, I'm not a big fan of them. I'm just gonna say that. But what you have is like in recent years, because Trump became president, like so many racists just feel so comfortable of like coming out and being racist, you know, and like voicing these opinions very loudly like this. You know, if like a couple years ago, this wouldn't have happened in the same way, you know, because we were like making strides forward, and now it feels like in recent times we're making strides backward. And of course, we've always had racists and things like that, but now these people have such a platform because of people like Trump, because of like that. Because what Trump is, he's like that football team that you go and watch, and they always lose, but their fans are just crazy and they just defend them like no matter what, because they're like, they're gonna win this time, but they just never do, and they keep losing. And instead of just admitting that they're wrong and that they lost, they keep crying. They keep crying. They keep doing things like that. But the difference is with that football team, they're probably, you know, at least eventually they get better. Republican Party does not get better. They're not getting better. This is what they choose to do. And I just find it weird because this dude has been a Republican for years. No one cared until he did this, you know? And he might have been a racist for years. But at least I didn't know that fact. At least I didn't know that the creator of this comic strip I love was a racist saying, I don't like black people, you know what I mean? At least he was like keeping it to himself. And I'm not saying that makes it right or whatever. I think it just makes it at least a little bit better, because now, you know, when you get people like Elon Musk who come out and defend him, and they're like, yeah, you know what, this is just cancel culture and all this crap, and you're like, what the hell, man? Like, it's just so sad, you know? And this is also not the first incidence of his weird statements regarding race. So a few years ago, Scott Adams was in an interview, admitted that the show Dilbert got canceled due to low ratings, but then a few years later, he actually came out in a different statement and claimed that the show was canceled because he was white. As if that's, like, I'm not, like, how does that, what, like, what the, it's like, what? You know what I mean? Like, crap like that. It's freaking weird. It's just so odd and very, like, something ain't right here. You know what I mean? And so I'm looking at all this crap, and I'm just frustrated and annoyed because, like, I don't like that these people have so much of a voice now. And I'm not, and it sounds weird because, you know, like, yeah, freedom of speech, whatever. And I agree with freedom of speech. But here's the problem with freedom of speech. Is like, these people don't understand that freedom of speech does not mean freedom of speech without consequences. And what is happening is consequence. He says racist shit, his comic strip gets pulled from newspapers. That's just what happens. That is his consequence for the stuff that he is saying. And I think at this point, people need to stop using the freedom of speech argument. You say messed up things, or do messed up things, or support messed up things, there is punishment. You may lose your job. You might, I don't know, whatever. I just think it's time that we stop defending this as if it's just an attack on people who are Republicans. It's really not. If the left had someone come out and say the same thing, we really would have just done the same thing that we're doing to him. And we really would have. It doesn't matter. We just tend to call it out more on the Republican end because it just happens to be more on the Republican end. Show me all these racists that are coming out of the left. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I just want to see more evidence of like there like more people like that. Because every time I see someone come out and say something horrible like this, it's usually a Republican. Like maybe 9 times out of 10, that one time it's like a person on the left. I just feel like it's just so bizarre, and I feel like it's just all delusional and weird, and it's just all screwed up, and it's just like weird. I just think that that's where I'm at. I'm just so tired of like the lack of consequence kind of talk here of like this dude said something that he shouldn't say, and then we just keep like defending his ass. You know this dude's gonna get on Alex Jones. And you know he's gonna go on Ben Shapiro. You know he's gonna be on freaking Fox News, and they're gonna be like, "Woo, you know, the cancel culture." And then people are not gonna understand that this dude's a piece of shit, and there should be no defense for it. But yet we're defending it. It's just weird. I don't get it. Let's stop. Yeah, I know this was a long rant, but I just wanted, and it's not really just to bash Republicans. It's really more just to just show, like, I think there are good people in that party. I just wish that they were just more educated. Because I feel like the good people aren't going to be in that party for long, if that makes sense. They're eventually going to grow more of a conscience, and they're going to be like, look, I got to get out of here. Something's not right with that party. I'm not saying the left is perfect either. I don't even vote, to be honest. I've never voted in my life. I am debating on voting in the next election, but really, if it's Trump or Biden, I won't be voting. It's just like, neither of those choices seem good choices to me. But that's just where I'm at. Like, it's just like, where are we going with this shit?